This cake is a whole nother dimension of vegan cake. Hello fellow humans and welcome back to my kitchen. I'm Jackie if you're new here, and today we are going to test another recipe. This was a suggestion from Sal, so thank you so much for the suggestion. And we will bake Yupitsvegan bakery style white cake. First I need to put on my apron. So one of the more interesting parts about this recipe is that it uses a reverse creaming method. What does that mean? You sift the dry ingredients and then you add fat. That way the fat molecules cover or coat the flour. This will prevent the flour to come in direct contact with any other liquid. This will prevent gluten from forming, which usually makes vegan cakes often a more dense cake. Okay, so first of all we have to mix and beat aquafaba. If you are a vegan baker, you probably know what this is. Aquafaba is the brine from canned chickpeas. It's been known for a couple years now. You can make lots of amazing things out of this, which is crazy, right? Project Vegan Baking has an amazing blog article about aquafaba that I can really recommend. Okay, we need 78 grams of aquafaba. It didn't say to pre-cook it or anything, so it's just right out of the can. Brand new cream of tartar. Okay, and now we need to beat it. So the recipe says to only whisk it until it's foamy, but you could keep going and you will get it to stiff peak if you keep whisking. And you can make little meringue cookies and stuff like that, which is really fun. Yeah, pretty cool thing. Stir together the plant milk, 2 teaspoons of vinegar. I already have measured it here and I will just put it in there. Vanilla and butter flavors. Okay, and it's 2 teaspoons clear imitation vanilla extract. I only have the dark one, so maybe it will be a little darker. This is the only substitution that I will do. That's around 10 milliliters. And then we need 2 teaspoons of imitation butter, and that one I bought. Just make sure if you buy that one that it is really vegan. Ooh. Oh lord, I can't open this. Why is that so hard to open? Ow. Man, this is a cheap one, so of course it sucks to open. Oh, that smells so good. I love imitation butter. Mix. Now we will sift the cake flour into a mixing bowl. And then the same amount of sugar has to be sifted as well. So now I'm at the second sift. Now that we have sifted the dry ingredients and then sifted them again, we will now add the fat, which is vegetable oil and vegetable shortening. I will mix it now, making sure that all the flour is coated in fat. And then the liquid ingredients need to be added and everything needs to be mixed well. Okay, so this is how it looks right now. We now need to add the aquafaba as well. And then we're gonna whisk it and then it goes into the oven already. Okay, now we're gonna put it in the cake pans, put it in the oven, and then I see you again when the cake is baked. And hopefully I did everything right and it all worked out and we will get nice, white, fluffy cakes. So the cakes are out of the oven. I had to bake them a little bit longer because I didn't have a 9-inch cake pan. I only have two 7-inch, around 40 to 45 minutes. I'm a little bit scared that they're not baked through, but I also didn't want to like overbake them. Anyways, let me get off my glasses. I will flip them now. I'm really scared to flip them because apparently they're very delicate. I set up my other camera. Flipping cakes is not one of my special traits when it comes to baking. So I'm really nervous. But yeah, moment of truth. Okay, they get out really, really nicely. So, woo, number one, yay! You did it. And then, of course, the other one as well. I think I might put them right down. Like that. Ta-da! Oh. Whew. They did not break, which is great. So now they can cool down a couple hours. I maybe put them in the freezer so it goes a little bit quicker. I will just prepare a coconut whipped cream. Yupitsvegan doesn't have necessarily an icing that goes with that cake, so you can use one of her recipes or you can just use my coconut whipped cream. I am frosting the cake right now. I'm adding a couple of layers and then I will also add Sweetopolita sprinkle medley. It's like the mermaid magic sprinkles. I got this vegan sprinkle mix on Etsy. Frosting a cake at home isn't even that complicated. I don't have a swirling cake stand, so I'm just gonna show you how I'm doing it without any crazy equipment. I'm just putting my cake on a cake stand and I will stack it from here. To spread the frosting, I will use a baker's spatula. It won't get super smooth, but for private use, definitely smooth enough. The cake is baked, I frosted it, I cut a piece. The texture is amazing. It is really fluffy. I think I never had a vegan cake that was that fluffy. Most vegan cakes have the tendency to be a little bit more chewier than regular cake. This cake does not have any of this. Holy shit. That is so fluffy. I don't have any other words for it. And the butter extract makes it super buttery. So silky. You can definitely taste the smoothness of the cake flour. It's amazing. It's really incredible. I love it. This cake is a whole nother dimension of vegan cake. This is definitely the most fluffy cake I've ever had that is vegan. I personally really like coconut whipped cream because I like coconut and it goes really well with the fluffy vanilla butter cake. It is a very heavy cake, so I think I can maybe eat half a slice and then I'm like, ooh, I'm full, because there's a lot of sugar in there, still a lot of fat. It is the traditional heavy birthday cake that you know in America for sure. It's just so fluffy. I can't believe it. It's not a healthy recipe like last time. Last time was really healthy with the gluten-free and the rice and everything, and now it's like the total opposite. So Thank you so much for recommending me this recipe. It's an amazing recipe and it's something that I would do to really impress people with vegan baking and show that they don't have to miss anything. Especially here in America, this is what people think about when they think about cake. This will be a stunner on every party, on any gathering whatsoever. This recipe is not forgiving. This recipe is not flexible, which means you really have to follow the instructions, really pay attention to what you're doing. And so I think why people have problems is because they substitute things and they don't really follow the instructions and don't read properly. But if you read properly and you follow just as she says it and you don't substitute anything, it will look like that and it will turn out great. And I also have to mention I am in high altitude and it still worked. That also speaks for it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this testing recipe. If you have any other recipes you want me to test, write it in the comments. As always, sweet and savory both goes. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell so you don't miss any of my videos. And yeah, see you next week. Bye! As Yupitsvegan wrote in... Oh no! Well, I just served cake in my lab.